Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video, guys. I hope you're all doing well. Had a great holiday yesterday with your families. Today's a pretty big day inside of the game for me in particular, and I want to talk about some AFK farming as well as a place that I really do like to farm inside of Diablo Immortal. So let's dive into it. As you can see, all of my gear right here is max level except for one piece of gear. Now I know it's been a long time coming. I'm not a crazy circle farmer. I'm not an AFK farmer. So it's taken me some time to get my gear where I want it to be, which is all maxed out at level 30. But today is that day because we just got ourselves enough resources this morning to get this final upgrade done. And maybe not a big deal to all, but I want to do it on the channel because it just kind of marks a moment that we've been waiting for a while. So as you can see right here, we have the proper dust, we have the proper scrap, we have the proper shards, and we have the amount of gold that we need. Let's go. Final piece of gear, earning the trophy as well for getting that done. Oh man, finally. This actually feels really good. So now we have all abilities unlocked with our gear, and with the new update we had some new abilities to do different things with the gear as well. So some type of a re-rolling, which we will mess with in another video after I play around with that myself. But man, that feels good. I'll tell you what, that feels really good. Now it's time to just continuously do whatever type of farming that we do, save up scrap materials that we can, because at some point in time, these levels are going to be going up again. They're not going to sit at 30 forever. At least I don't think so. By the way, we got something here for Seeker's Path. Let's make sure that we grab that. Wabam, which gives us more dust, more shards, and more scrap materials as we slowly climb our way up that ladder. Now, it's something that I want to share with you guys because I thought it was pretty funny actually. So we're going to come on over here to Reddit and take a look at this video. This person says right here, how is this allowed by Blizzard? Or rather, do they even care? They're over here in the library of Zoltan Kuhl, and what they're doing is they are basically blowing up all of these AFK farmers, showing that AFK farming is happening and that nothing is being done to stop the AFK farming from happening. So you got everyone just kind of showing their names here. This has been going on really forever. I don't really know of any people that have been banned for AFK farming or anything alike. So you see that a lot of people are going to just kind of set up themselves as a necromancer and go into a zone and kind of just hang out, let their skills take things out while they're not even there. This is a way that a lot of players are able to get their gear up very quickly, because when they're not able to play the game, they just throw it on, plug it in, let their game run, and they're AFK farming, all right? This is not a new thing, and honestly, it's probably not something that Blizzard cares too much about, because nothing has really been done to get rid of that either, right? So something that I wanted to talk about here was a place that I like to farm, and it's not where you're probably going to think. I like to go into the Accursed Tower, and right now we have a contested tower, so we could go in here. I clean it out, you know, I make sure that it's not being attacked, and we get rid of all the enemies over here. We just did that a few minutes ago, but you could also get your runs inside the Accursed Tower. Now, there's some great resources that you can gain from this. It's a little bit more of a high stress farm because, yes, you're kind of trying to beat the test of time. I try and look at this as just go on in and farm the zone. So that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to go on in, farm this zone. I'm going to unlock these spires right here, and we're just going to take out as many of these guys as we can. I'm not as worried about the time or about setting a record or anything like that. I'm just trying to get on through, get as much of this going as I can, and get as many resources. This is also a great source of runes for your build as well, which is actually something that I kind of struggle with. I don't have all golden runes just yet, so it's not a bad idea to be over here to do some rune farming. Get yourself into the red zones. You can see right now in the map at the top that I'm running through a red zone. This is more dense. This is a higher density area with enemies that are going to give me more of the shards. So it's a good area to kind of, you know, spend a little time in and to clean out, continuously grabbing more and more of the cursed sources. I call them spires, but really they're called cursed sources. So unfortunately, I'm not using a build right now that gives me 100% uptime on my horse, so it's a little bit slower. But again, I'm not here trying to set a record. if you're in the accursed tower trying to get the best times because you're fighting for an accursed tower and all of that, you'll probably want to come in here with a party. You'll want to keep this, keep the timer going and unlocking more and more time as you can, and you're going to want to take it more seriously. But as I mentioned, the reason that I'm doing this right now is really just for me to farm. It's going to give me a bunch of resources. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a ruin to drop or something. And, you know, it's sometimes just different than going in the open world and doing the normal farming, the normal circle farming that can, I mean, quite honestly, get a little bit boring out there. No one ever said that circle farming is the most exciting thing to do. It's just a good way to grind. Can we get this, please? There we go. Now, something that I'm using with this build right here, with this Crusader, is I need to not use all of my skills at once because they're not on 100% uptime with this build, just because of the essences that we chose. So I need to make sure that I have some to pop when the time is right. Make sure we can take this guy down pretty quickly here. Are we able to? Do we need to hit the cursed source? There we go. Now we're good. We can even go with our ultimate that's unlocked right here. How many of you guys actually do accursed towers? I'm getting the feeling that some people don't even really know about this part of the game. Some of maybe the newer players that are diving in may not even know about this point. Now look at this. We still have 2 minutes left. Again, this is a no stress way to farm it. I'm not rushing. I'm just kind of going through it, taking where the map leads me, following the enemies, and I'm not worried about it. I'm not trying to be number one. With that said, sometimes that'll actually lead you to be in that number one spot. It also has to do with the spawns of everything that drops and all that. But again, at the end of the day, this is just another way to farm. If you're trying to mix things up, you don't want to do the same type of farming. And if you don't want to be an AFK farmer. Now, I guess the question would be, to answer that Reddit post, does Blizzard care? I don't know if they care. The problem with AFK farming is it messes up spawn rates in the zones for players that are trying to do bounties or just explore a zone or run some kind of a quest or something like that. When you have people that are AFK farming, the enemies just won't spawn properly and you're not going to be able to complete some of them, or it can take you extensive amounts of time to actually do it, which can be very annoying. Let's be honest. We've all been in a situation where we're somewhere in the library or, you know, somewhere else that you like to shatter the Dreadlands, if that's your favorite part to farm, and you just can't get it done because Southern Dreadlands, because there's a whole bunch of people that are AFK farming in the area. Yeah, it's annoying. We've spoken about different things that Blizzard could do in the past to kind of make their AFK farming zones where you can just kind of park your account and AFK farm. But points were made when I brought that up, you know, like if you make a zone where you could just kind of retire your account for the day and get free resources, suddenly becomes a game like AFK Arena that's doing some farming for you. And at the end of the day, they may as well just give you the resources. They may just give you a chest at the end of the day that says, here you go. Everyone's going to get, you know, 5,000 dust or 5,000 scrap materials by the end of the day, rather than having to have people keep their phones on, their batteries running, and just standing in the zone AFK to get those resources. Curious of what you guys think about that. I know that Blizzard would obviously like players inside of their game. By the way, there's only about 10 seconds left in this, and then we are going to be going down. Can we get a little bit more right before the end? It looks like we can get a little bit more right here. Yes, we can. And that is it. 662. We'll get a few more that drop right here, and then we can go turn these bad boys in. Nice. So we got ourselves some resources. We're going to throw this all into here. Helps out the team a little bit at least. And but again, that wasn't the focus here. And then we come on over here to the blacksmith and we'll see what we got. 96 scrap and 7 dust just from a quick run like that. But at the end of the day, once you get all of your gear done, your desire, your need, and your hunt for all of that extra scrap materials is going to diminish a little bit. The need to do any of that excessive amounts of farming is going to be gone, which is where I'm sitting right now, and it feels pretty good. Guys, great start to the week. Remember, I do go live on Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, playing Diablo Immortal with you guys right here on the channel and on Twitch. Hopefully you guys can come on through this Thursday, hang out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys there. Have a great day.